I mean,
But you know,
you are right, because that's one thing that you don't really hear people talk about. People are like, yeah, they can't fail. It's like, no, they can definitely mess this up if they fuck up some things.
Because
Yeah, they
if
could.
you also want to go to that point too, like a lot of people will roast what's that new Naruto game called? Storm Connection something?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, if you want to be real, Tenkaichi 4 has to succeed essentially, whereas to me Storm Connections doesn't.
No.
If we want to be real, because Tenkaichi 4 has more buzz and excitement for it. I mean, the game was trending on Twitter. The game was
like,
trending
right
from
after
what my friend told me, because I rarely be on
Right.
Twitter nowadays.
Mhm.
So that just goes to show you one thing. This game is going to be good and bad because people are going to have unrealistic expectations for this game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And what was I about to say? Oh yeah, about the whole the potential game. I do, like I said, I like Joe's approach of it, because you haven't really heard people talk about the cautious optimism about it. When it comes to the story, I feel you on that, Joe. But
Mhm.
as you know, you play Legends occasionally. I play it a lot more in, you know, Dokkan and like all the other Dragon Ball games and shit. They don't really tap into manga stuff. Don't know why specifically, but I think it's more so a thing of they wait for the anime to animate it to then go, okay, now we can make content on it. This is why you don't ever see shit in like Legends or Dokkan or Xenoverse or any of those games. You never see manga stuff coming out, because the manga shit came out months ago at this point. But you're not gonna see it come out content-wise in terms of DLC and stuff like that until it's animated. That's why we got like movie shit. Granted, it took a little bit longer, but we still eventually got to see movie shit for Xenoverse, for Legends, for Dokkan. It's just like, if it's not animated, then you normally don't touch it. So unless they do some special case shit, which they could with Tenkaichi, you more than likely aren't going to be seeing manga stuff. They might hint at it, but I don't think they're going to show like Dragon Ball Super Bardock. They're not going to show, you know, Granola. They're not going to show what was the goat guy's name? I forgot his name.
Moro.
Yeah, they're not going to show Moro in here.
Yeah. And yeah, that's what I'm saying, because we're not ever gonna get manga stuff in a game. Like, it has to be drawn out first, animated and aired out. And that's the thing that I'm upset about, because I read the manga and I really wanted to be animated so we could start getting it pushed out into these games.
Yeah, because it's definitely some dope shit.
Yeah, we have no word on when the show is even coming back. So I'm just starting to get a little bit worried, because I mean, I'm sort of a story mode guy. Sort of. I mean, no. Never mind. Let me not say that.
I'm about to say, it's like most anime niggas. It depends on what it is. Because if it's like Guilty Gear and you're not a Guilty Gear fan, you're not playing through the story.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just a story mode guy when it comes to Dragon Ball Z. You know, when Kakarot was released, I mean, shit, I pre-ordered that, downloaded it the same night on PlayStation. I remember it. They gave you the 42-hour release or whatever, and I put mad hours in it off the rip, because I always wanted a game like that, and to play the story mode like that was great. So that's sort of what I'm looking for in this game, because I mean, I'm on the casual side, you know, so I'll leave the mechanics and the combos and everything. Of course, I'm still gonna learn the combos, but it's not something that I'm looking
to go like if
to.
They have it at tournaments
like,
and shit to go play good at.
Yeah, like, it's not something that would make the game for me. What would make the game for me is a whole new Budokai game, new mechanics, new maps, new characters,
new game modes,
customization for the characters too. Actually, would be pretty dope. Like how they have in Fighters, like where we can unlock new color schemes and everything. But
outfits.
See, again though, if they go that route with the customization, then they're gonna have to limit the characters that they give us. They can't give us 100 characters and give us all customization for 100 characters and it be polished. You know, I'm just really worried about the game getting out and being polished. I mean, I'm gonna pay for the DLC regardless. We all can sit here and talk about games releasing and not finished, and we're not buying DLCs, but when it comes to Dragon Ball Z, we're buying DLC. I said I wasn't buying DLC, and I buy every DLC for Fighters. So, yeah, y'all can be in denial all y'all want, but I'm not gonna be in denial. I'm gonna buy the motherfucking DLC.
He said, "Look, that shit slapping, niggas up, money taking."
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good point too. Because one thing I love about Tenkaichi 2 is like the amount of alternate costumes that each of the characters get, and even in Budokai 1, even if you played that, the costumes you got in that game were crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
I saw some of them
man.
like
Oh,
loaded
yeah.
videos and shit. I was like, nah, I never fucking expected to see some of these outfits. Like I think you saw
But
Saiyan
now-
armored Goku, which you never
But now
fucking
I'm
see.
gonna ask you another question though.
Mhm.
Like, what is a thing that you really want to where like it's in the game, but you need it in the game? You wouldn't buy the game if it's not in the game. What is that one thing that you really want for that?
For me, they gotta. I know we talked about not having like huge rosters, and there was something I wanted to say about that, but like not having huge rosters, but they gotta like. I feel like they should do it in a way of like when they do a season pass, it should be all this type. Dragon Ball Super season pass, or not Dragon Ball Super in the entirety, but like Goku Black Arc season pass, Resurrection F, Battle of Gods, old movies specifically like Broly movies, Second Coming Broly, stuff like that. I feel like they need to do that just because it's easy. It's like it's easy stuff to do. It's like, bro, you already gonna have Gohans, Goten, Broly's and shit in the game. It's like it's nothing for you to make a new model, or not make a new model, to change up a model a little bit, change some stuff, but you're adding a whole new character with new mechanics and stuff to basically, like I said, bring longevity into the game. Stuff like that I feel like is necessary, because like Joe said, if this game's gonna be around for a while, you gotta add content. And if you're only gonna add content from like Super, the modern movies and beyond, you're gonna be limiting yourself and limiting what a lot of people would like. Like, tell me niggas wouldn't love with seeing OG Broly pop up against the Dragon Ball Super Broly, because this would be the first time since Fighters they popped up in a game, but this is gonna be the first time they're in like a not fighting game, like a 3D fighting type game.
I would completely love that myself.
That's like the one thing for me,
So-
just like adding characters like that.
Okay, so JD, I'm gonna answer your question. So I just got just one more thing to say. I'm gonna summarize up my whole.
Oh, no, you're good, you're good.
This game. So listen, I'm completely excited for this shit. Listen, Nas and JD will tell you, I wasn't watching the live stream with them because your boy was tired. I was taking me a nap, ended up being lazy and not waking up. So I ended up getting BC. They tripping out. I watched the trailer. I ended up fangirling like a motherfucker. I'm not gonna lie. I was screaming. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I stood up everything. This motherfucking jump jacks. You know, I had a workout and good ass workout. So look, listen. So what I want from this game is I just want good characters, good unique characters, abilities, movesets, and maybe they could even do it like where you could even change their moveset. Like that would be dope. Like say you pick a character and then you could put on like maybe capsules or something. Say for example, say you pick Vegeta, one game you want to go in there with a Gallic gun, let's say maybe Ultimate like Final Flash or something. Then the next game you could go Big Bang Attack,
Final Explosion. For
Final Explosion. Like I think that would be dope. Like in order to keep this, because listen, I need y'all to listen to me. This game has to succeed, all right? Because they gave us fucking Dragon Ball Breakers. Don't nobody want to fucking play that shit.
Shit, don't about that
Alright.
shit.
So we need
Don't make
this
people
shit
triggered.
to succeed. All right, so listen. So the one main thing that I want in this game, and this is going to be interesting to y'all. I really want to know how y'all feel about this, because I haven't seen a single soul talk about this. But this is something that I really always wanted from whenever I first played Fighters and I was playing Kid Buu. And you get the last kill and I blew up the world. So I want actual 3D like dynamic world destruction. Like when you're in the game and fighting, I want to actually like feel when I'm knocking somebody through a building. If I do an explosion on the ground, I want to see fucking rocks come up from the ground, explode, everything. I need actual world destruction. Because listen, this game is going to be all about the visuals and the characters and the story mode. You can't tell me otherwise. Yeah, for the competitive side, people are going to love the new combos and everything and all the cool shit you can do. But with the Budokai series, it's always been about visuals, the maps, the characters, and the story mode. And just like they said, I need a tournament mode. That's all I want. That's all I want. I don't care about nothing else. That's all I want.
That's one thing I will say that Rage and Blast did really good. You can destroy buildings. There was ground, like textures, like explosions on the ground where moves hit and they might have dodged from them. Like and then the world blew up, and then the map changed
And I remember
visually.
Rage Blast 2 also, like, there was times to where they can knock you on the building and you couldn't move.
And then you got stuck, and then you got wailed on, and then you broke through the building. Yeah, like shit like that. That's one thing I will say Raging Blast did really good. Stuff like that was dope to see. But like, because everybody knows like some of the iconic ones, like when you fire Kamehameha and then shooting off the side of the planet, or like Kibu does like the move where he blew up the Earth, and then you see the pink explosion circling the Earth, and then you come back and now the Earth's destroyed. It's like stuff like that is dope to see. Don't do it to where like in some games where like the visuals on the ground because of the destruction, like Xenoverse, will pop up and then they disappear within half a second. It's like, nah, leave a lasting battle damage.
That's trash. That's what I meant right there. Lasting 3D battle damage. And just one more thing, so I want to explain where I'm coming from and why I said that. So just like Nas said how he's a big Raging Blast fan or whatever, I don't know if you guys remember this game. Maybe he'll throw like a clip up or whatever. I'm a big Dragon Ball Burst Limit fan, and whenever you play Burst Limit on some of the maps, like you would be on an island and you can literally smack them into a dinosaur, right? Or you can smack them up into the air and you'll be fighting on beautiful clouds. And they did it so good for a game back then. And then the clouds and the sky to just look like I want to be like, whenever I play a Dragon Ball game and I'm fighting, I want to actually feel like
you're in the area.
I'm fighting. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm just playing
in a static stage.
Like in a game like that, if that makes sense to y'all.
Like he's saying, like if you fighting on fucking Roshi's Island, you want to fucking smack somebody to the city, and then get like a cool visual transition to the city to now go on that map.
Exactly, just how Burst Limit did it, and I feel like they can do that now. If they're gonna do it, I doubt it, but
they might do it.
I hope they do.
I feel like if they do it, they're not gonna do it for every map, which that would just be a lot to fucking do. But I feel like they'll do it for like select maps, like that makes sense. Like they might fucking have like, for example, they might have on Namek. You do that, you smack somebody around, and depending on like, you know, what you're doing, you might knock them into the water, and then you might get like a cool transition to go underwater, which underwater in Dragon Ball games is a controversial because some niggas just hate that shit. But they might give you like cool transitions to like cut to different areas of the map so that, you know, they can visually show off some cool stuff. So I can see them doing it, but like I said, I don't think it's gonna be every map gets that, because that's a lot to do for a very resource heavy game.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that, but it also depends on how many maps that we actually get with this
That
game.
is also true, because we might not have the largest selection of maps.
Yeah.
So for me, you already know what I'm gonna say. You already know what I'm gonna say for mine. I don't know what I'm gonna say.
He said, just give me the sauce.
Give me some sauce. That's one thing I want. I just want to be saucy and like show my stuff. But as far as like game-wise stuff, low key. Since Joe talked about how he wanted like destruction and stuff, I want to see some cool ass stage transitions. No lie.
Like imagine.
So that way, like, say for example, if you get knocked in the corner, like in the old games, like in Budokai 1, when you knock somebody off a stage, you would go to a completely different area. I will love that feature to return in Tenkaichi again, because I know in Xenoverse 2 you can only like fight on that one part of the area, and it's whatever. But I kind of want to fight on the ground, the air, the sky, like honestly really feeling like you're a Dragon Ball character for real.
Yeah, like imagine you were fucking fighting on Kami's Lookout, you knocked the nigga down to earth, or reverse, you were fighting on the ground and knocked him up.
And then you go to like wastelands or something. I'm like, oh my god, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, that definitely would be sick. So,
because release date wise, I don't see this game coming out for like another 2 to 3 years, if I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, because they only showed off one transformation, and it still looked like it looked good, but it didn't look like very early stages.
It looked like very early in development alpha status.
And I got one more thing that I'm gonna say, because I don't know if you're about to get ready to close this out. So I got one more thing that I want to say. So there was this cool thing in Burst Limit when you would fight, right? Whenever you would like hold the heavy attack, or when you would clash with your opponent, there would be like lightning streaks that would come out whenever you would clash, or like whenever you would hit them like with a heavy attack, it would sort of like slow down, and like you could really feel that you just hit them with like a power punch.
Weighted
Yeah, I know what he's
movements.
talking
I would, like I would have that for sure.
Yeah,
I would love for them to bring that from burst limit into Budokai. That
Yeah,
shit would be fire.
I forgot who said that in what game, but like definitely, I think it might have been like Ryan was serious. One of them was like, yeah, make the moves feel weighted and heavy. Like if you do a charge attack, you knock somebody back, make it feel impactful. Don't just do it and then just
Right.
it's a slight knockback. And it's like, oh wow,
Yeah.
that supercharged move that I did that was risky didn't get rewarded. But I definitely felt
Yeah.
that. But last thing I
Yeah,
wanted to
so,
say
yeah.
before I close this out was, y'all talked about connections, Storm connections, and talked about
Mhm.
a lot of stuff with rosters. With Storm connections, JD said this game, if it fails, would definitely be a harder hit than connections, and I agree with that. But it's like you said, it's also with the expectations around it, because I think Ryan talked about it in his video, and I talked about it in one of my videos afterwards. It's like with connections, that's technically it's Storm 5, just not like what Storm 5 people were expecting, because it's a new Storm, and it's what would people want
You know what it
in a
is?
new Storm? They
You
would
know what
want
it
it
is?
Storm 4 shit
Storm
with new
Connection,
shit.
it reminds me of like a Infinite World of Budokai 3. That's
Mhm.
what it reminds me of. Or you can even go as far as to say it's like that new JoJo game that came out, JoJo All-Star Battle Arts, where it's
Oh,
like an updated version of
yeah.
that game. That's what Storm Connections is to me.
Yeah, because like the thing is like in Rhyme's video, he was saying this. He was like, with Storm Connections, it's like what Storm 5 would have been. It would have been shit from the previous Storm games that people would have wanted carried over, which is what it is, and it's stuff that new potential stuff that they can add from like maybe Boruto, maybe some exclusive manga shit that didn't get added into the previous games. That's pretty much what they can do. So it's literally what you want. It's just with it being connections, and from how they presented it, where it looked like Storm 4 DLC, but with a whole new game. I think that's why it left a bad taste in people's mouth. If they would announce, say, that Storm 5 and would have been like the exact same trailer, but maybe said something about better online or improved this and that, niggas wouldn't have been as mad about it. But because you called it connections and it basically looked like Storm 4.5, people were like, oh no, this ain't what we wanted. But it's like, bro, Storm 5 would have had a lot of shit from this that y'all wanted. It just would have been calling something different, so you might have felt better about it in that aspect. And the last thing I wanted to say was, when we were talking about rosters and alternate outfits and all that stuff, and how people were probably going to be disappointed with the roster, it was like, we talked about how fighters people complained about the roster being small, right? And then I thought about it, I'm like, what's the opposite? I'm like, bro, Joe said the exact shit that I was thinking, where it's like we don't want a big roster, and then it's just a waste for some of the characters. Because deadass, Xenoverse, I saw this today when Ryan was reacting to the what was it? The Orange Piccolo and Cell Max reveal. Xenoverse has over 200 characters added as DLC, when that game had a base roster of 96. So it's over 300 characters in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And niggas don't play all 300 of those characters.
Exactly.
Nigga, there's
That's the thing
300.
that's the thing about the anime gaming community, man. It's just like, I really don't understand like why. Like me, I'm actually a person that will play a lot of different characters. That's just because I love learning about like mechanics and stuff like that with characters. But most people who are on like the casual level, they don't care about that shit.
Nah,
They
nigga.
just want to play their favorite like Naruto characters, Dragon Ball characters. Like, let's be honest, most of the people, when I played Xenoverse, because I played that game heavy, I had like over 4,000 hours in that game. Mostly everybody, they picked the same characters. They
Yeah,
picked
niggas wasn't
Goku,
choosing-
Gohan, Vegeta, Gogeta, Hit, and that's really it.
Niggas
You
wasn't
ain't-
playing
you ain't see,
Raspberry.
like me, I was playing Janemba, Android 18, Tien. I was playing characters no one was even playing. So yeah, Nas is right about that. And it's the same thing for Storm 4. Who did everybody play in Storm? Obito, Madara, Sasuke, Naruto. Like, it's just like,
yeah.
why do y'all ask for these rosters if y'all ain't gonna play half of the characters anyway?
I'm about to say, they know they ain't
Right,
playing
and-
Team Ino, Choji, and
And
what's his name?
I want to say this too. So this is about Storm. So like, sort of we're me and Nas like, well, I kind of forced him to do this. So I'm gonna say me.
Kinda forced
I'm a part of those people sometimes that for that community that wants a lot of characters and don't even pick them. So for example, me and Nas had got Naruto Storm 4 on computer, right?
Mhm.
And there was this modded thing or whatever that gave you like a selection of probably like 300 characters. And we loaded it up and was like, oh, this is cool. Like, look who they got this and that. But guess what? We still only probably played about 10,
Maybe.
10 out of those 300, maybe not even 10. I might be pushing it. So it's just like, just all I want to say is just please everybody lower their expectations, because this is what ruins fucking games. Everybody want to go to Twitter and fucking complain about shit when the game is fucking great. So just listen, just lower your expectations. Stop asking for fucking 300 characters, because you're not even gonna play 300 characters. Because then when we get 300 characters, you'll be like, oh, this is too much to learn. There's too many combos. Bitch,
He said, "Bitch."
shut the fuck up and stop complaining. Enjoy.
It's
the
funny
fucking
that you
game
mentioned
for
that
what
too,
it is.
because,
Yeah, I'm
like-
talking to you, nigga. Yeah, you behind that screen right there.
He said, "You,
behind your
nigga."
fucking phone. All right, 20 characters is enough as long as they're unique. All right.
And
All
for
right.
at least a starting roster. Go ahead, JD. No.
And it's funny too, because like I've been around the anime community for a very, very long time, like since 2016. So I've been around for the Storm 4, the Xenoverse 2, Jump Force, aka Jump Flop, because
Jump
we all know what
Flop.
happened to that game. Demon Slayer, even though I didn't play it that long, I've been around for a very long time. A big problem with y'all for every
Oh.
single game is that you guys make expectations that do not be met.
Facts.
I remember when Demon Slayer was coming out, and people said this was going to be the greatest anime game of all time. But look what ended up happening.
And Demon
No one
Slayer
puts
ained a
that
bad
in
game.
And
It's-
then the
it's
funny
just
thing
not
is,
what
that
niggas
game's not
wanted.
even bad. It's just the game had input lag for PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Tanjiro's Ultimate would crash online. Like, it is just like, if there's one thing I learned about CC2 as a company, or like all the anime developers, they really have to prove themselves when it comes to games nowadays for me.
Yeah, because like they have their reps and they have their reputation and things that they're known for. Like everybody knows, CC2 fucking slaps when it comes to a cutscene. A CC2 cutscene
cutscenes,
Yeah,
might be like the
They're
best
good.
shit. But it's like, oh, a CC2 game online, ass. Bandai game that doesn't have rollback, potentially ass. There's some exceptions, but like, you know, each company has their positives and their negatives. They have their flaws and they have their gifts. They have things that they're good at and they have things that they need to improve on. And with
Because
some
I'll
games,
tell you
you need
straight,
to
because
think
I'll
about
tell
it.
you straight up, the best anime games we have literally gotten, even though they have like shitty online, is Demon Slayer is actually a really good game.
It really
offline.
is.
I'm not gonna lie.
Because I played
Like if you see like tournaments for
convention.
this game, for like where people can actually play with each other, that game is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Another game is JoJo's Battle R. That game is like, I'm a huge JoJo fan, so like I've been watching my homies Soul and Zeta play that game, and it's just I would play it too, but the online is kind
Getting Joe
of
down.
whatever. Yeah, I saw that. And another game that came out a long time ago was Kill la Kill If.
Oh,
That game was very mechanical deep.
I remember my
but-
homie talked about that shit.
Yeah, Kill la Kill If was an amazing game, but sadly, no one played it because again, and that comes to another point. Mostly people in the anime community, unless it's a very known anime, most people don't get it.
Mhm.
If it's not Naruto or Dragon Ball or Demon Slayer, if it's not very known, most people don't buy it. It's kind of
Yeah.
a side thing I accepted over time.
It was kind of like that with DNF though. It was hyped up, and it's like, bro, this is this small not Korean, I think it was Chinese game franchise that came out of that area, and it was like, bro, this is the first time that they're in the West doing shit. And then, oh, guess what? Their game in the West did not do good, and it's like, well, yeah, it's because it's a small ass franchise that hasn't been over here very long, so most niggas don't know it when they see it. It's not recognizable like that, so casuals are gonna try it maybe once if they ever hear about it, and then it's like, bro, that shit ain't getting many chances. Versus you throw out a fucking Tekken, oh, it can have like it's with Street Fighter 5. Street Fighter 5 at the start had one of the worst fighting game launches. And then guess what? Because it was Street Fighter, niggas gave it a chance. And then guess what? At the end, it actually turned out to be a really good game. But that was only on the later half of its lifespan. But most games ain't getting that type of longevity from its fan base. Because most of them don't have big fan bases.
That's another very big thing.
We can rap about that in a whole nother video though, for sure.
Yeah, we can talk about that in another video too.
Yeah, but like overall, I think I said most of the like super important stuff that I wanted to say, and we did talk about some really good points for stuff dealing with Tenkaichi. But as Joe keeps dying in and out, I'm gonna end this video here.
Yeah.
So if y'all want to see us, he said I'm back for the end of the video. Let's go. But if y'all want to hear us talking about some more shit, because dead ass we might fucking like talk about some more shit, and I might just record it casually just to upload it for later. But like if y'all want to hear us talk about anything specific, let me know down in the comments below, because all three of us definitely come from a wide variety of different games and different experiences, so it'd be interesting to see some of our discussion on shit. Because like what Joe said, with battle damaging games, that's something like very rarely anybody's talked about, and it was one of the things like I didn't expect anybody to say, because it was kind of like one of the things that people don't think about, but Joe thought about it. So it's good to hear different thoughts like that. But I'll see you on this next video. Let's subscribe to me. I'll see y'all next time. Peace. Girl, so cute, she's so kawaii.